This is a song for Damien. Sleepy Reader, aka Damien. If you're not subscribed, it's a sin. Hey everyone, it's Sleepy Reader, aka Damien, and this is kind of a haul of an AOK haul. Um, as many of you may know, I was in Connecticut about a week ago. I visit my mom there and where she lives, and actually where I grew up is a not too long ride from where the great HiggyPop lives. And so now it's becoming tradition. Every time I visit my mom, I get to visit Higgy and talk comics with him, talk other things. He's a great guy to sit down and chat with, to tell the truth. His wife's very lucky. He's very handsome. I mean, she could be married to this, and she's got Higgy instead, right? So anyway, he gave me a lot of stuff. We met up twice. Once at books with comic books and coffee. I think that's what it's called. A little store that amazingly is in roughly my old neighborhood where I grew up, where there was nothing during my entire time that I ever spent there. I mean, we didn't even have anything more than a gas station in the whole town. Anyway, we met up there and bought a lot of comic books and sat and chatted. And he brought 2 bags worth of books in the back of his car, and they were biographies and autobiographies of rock stars because we found out we both like those. So I don't know if he wanted me to take all 2 bags worth because most of them were ones I had not read. But I had to think about what to bring home with me, so I picked out 2. Um, I'm not sure if he wanted me to take them all or if he was just giving me a really wide selection. But I picked out a Lemmy autobiography. And this ought to be good. I really, in particular, like when it's in their own words. This does have a co-writer, but still, presumably it's mostly in his own words, and the co-writer just sort of organizes things and makes it more readable. So I'm really looking forward to this. Lemmy was a one of a kind, so I'm looking forward to his views on all of his rock and roll experiences. And then Pete Townsend, he'll probably be much more serious than Lemmy, Who I Am. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to reading this, so that'll be great. Um, most rock star, or not most people writing an autobiography, they have a point of view and perhaps something they want the world to remember about them. And so I always find that interesting. Um, he also brought me uh, some drawings he made of me as a magical superhero. I'm going to negotiate with him about the elf boots. I'm a member of BOP. Right now, I can't remember what BOP meant, but it'll come back to me. But so I have this third eye, and I have a magic short box. And so there was that drawing and this drawing. And then what happened is I felt I had more free time because my mom needs a nap every afternoon. So I went by the Hawk's Nest the next day, and I got 2 more pictures of myself as a magical superhero. I do like on every picture I've got a different T-shirt. Devo. In real life, I don't have a Devo T-shirt, but I do like Devo. Um, it kind of has a Shazam vibe on this one. I'm not sure if that's what Higgy had in mind. And then I've got the on this. So the next day when I went to the nest, I got 2 more pictures of myself. I think this one is my favorite one because it's so cool and imaginative to have this dragon creature coming out of my magic now it looks like a long box. It's a short box or a long box. Maybe it magically changes size depending on what I need to magically conjure up. And there I have the Rolling Stones t-shirt. Love that. But then this one reveals what I look like with my shirt open. All those abs, a lot of abs. Now my legs probably really do look like that. I don't know, maybe. But so I love these drawings. Next time when he's not looking, I'm going to sneak into his notebook and pull out some Conan drawings. But that was not all. He, in fact, when we met up at the Comics and Coffee place, he tried to give me about 20 Atlas comics, but I had absolutely all of them. It's very frustrating to try to give gifts to someone who has already a huge comics collection. So when I came to the Hawk's Nest, he had a whole bunch more to offer me, and these were there might have been one or two that I turned down because I already had it, but there were a whole bunch that I didn't have. Um, he really wanted me to have this one with the Yankee Doodle Kid. He wants to up my patriotism. Plus, that costume's snazzy. Maybe it gives me some Halloween ideas. And let's see. You might have seen that I did a Enemy Ace video with my artist edition of Enemy Ace, but I don't actually. I think I used to have a book of Enemy Ace, but I don't have the individual issues. And he gave me a whole bunch of individual issues. So we've got Star Spangled War stories starring Enemy Ace meeting Saint George the Dragon Killer. I love that cover. Um, I'm going to go and open it up and see what it looks like on the inside. Um, let's see. Looks like Kubert artwork. I am Saint George. So I am thrilled. Excuse me, I got a hiccups. I'm drinking bubbly water out of my Silver Surfer cup, thanks to George. Um, a different George than this George and the Dragon. But this looks like classic Kubert, so I'm real excited about that. And I need a glow in the dark Frankenstein. I really wanted to order these when I was a kid, but I never did. It was always traumatic to buy things through the mail. I would have to ask my parents to write a check. I think I did order some things through the mail where I literally like glued quarters down onto a piece of paper and put them in an envelope. And then there's this Enemy Ace special. I'm not sure what this is. Is it a reprint or original work? I think it's a reprint. It says copyright 1965. So this looks like earlier Joe Kubert artwork in a way, a little less scratchy. Anyway, that's really cool. And I think they were using this to promote a new Enemy Ace uh, hardcover they were selling, illustrated by George Pratt. So I don't know anything about that one. And then we've got Star Spangled Stories number 150, which has both Enemy Ace and the Viking Prince. Wasn't the Viking Prince also a Kubert character? I don't know if Kubert was always the artist on Viking Prince. Kubert did these characters so well, I feel like he owns them. Now the cover looks a little loose here. The Enemy Ace in Three Graves to Home. Pretty grim, but somehow this tragic romanticism, it never seemed so grim to me or unbearable to me as some war stories might when I was a kid reading these. Let's see. Where's the Viking Prince? I wonder if the Viking Prince is a reprint from earlier. That's just a guess. I'd have to look into that. I think of the Viking Prince as kind of earlier Kubert work, and it does look a little different to me. Okay, and this is really exciting to me because um, this issue's definitely in my artist edition, and it also in the artist edition they had a preliminary sketch of this cover, so I'm looking forward to comparing the two. Star Spangled Stories number 143. This one, well, by my standards, this one's in good shape. Joe Kubert goodness. Love his double page splashes. I guess both he and Kirby were had enough muscle to do double page splashes in DC, which at the time didn't even always do full page splashes. Oh, and there's more. Yeah, this looks really good. I'm going to get lost in looking at it. So, oops. Super excited for these. And then there's a modern, it's probably from the 90s or something, Enemy Ace, or maybe the 2000s, by Garth Ennis, Chris Weston, and Russ Heath is mentioned on the cover too. So let's take a look. This is a whole graphic novel. And it has nice kind of newsprinty paper inside. That looks like the Chris Weston artwork. Chris Weston, who just recently came back to comics to do Paranoid Gardens, which I'm loving. So this is really great. I mean, it's not Joe Kubert, but what are you going to do? And I'm very curious actually on Garth Ennis take on this, because he has written some really great war comics himself. And then he gave me this Flyman comic. I also bought a Flyman comic at Comics and Coffee. Comic Books and Coffee. And then I bought two more at Frankenstein's this past weekend at Frankenstein's Comic Book Swap. Those were kind of expensive, relatively speaking. But so my Flyman collection is growing, and I think Higgy told me there were 37 or 38 issues. So, and now I think I have 6. So this is definitely a run I am chasing after. Art by Paul R. Paul R. I wonder if that's someone else under a different name. Get Lost, Flyman. This is an earlier one? Number 38. No, it's not an earlier one. Okay, I'll rebag that later. Oh, wait, there's more Star Spangled. Let's see. Yeah. So one more Star Spangled, which I think Enemy Ace is a backup one on this one, number 181. Go away, tape. And this one is handy because it has a label right on it, which tells me that it is oh, the label got partially ripped off. I imagine some kid thought he was selling, that was the way to sell comics, put a sticker right on it. This is interesting. Frank Robbins writing Jack Sparling art on One Guy in the Right Place. Is this The Unknown Soldier? And then, yeah, here's the backup with Enemy Ace. Let's see. Part 1, The Hammer of Hell. That's interesting. Seems like a story introducing the character. You get part 2 in the next issue. Maybe they were reintroducing Enemy Ace here. I think this was a 30 center. I can't tell. Maybe a 20 center. It's hard to see there. Okay, and then, because he knows I'm become interested in treasure chest, he gave me a bunch of treasure chests, which was well, it says 10 cents on it. I thought it was a free comic book at Catholic education, various Catholic education places like catechism or parochial schools or what have you. So that art looks familiar. I wonder if that's Dan Spiegel there. Oh, this one's signed by Joe Sinnott, Secret of the Star. So these are really cool. I think they have a lot of interesting artists in them at different times. So he gave me 4 of them. I think 4. Maybe he was just trying to get rid of them. Yeah. Too much Catholicism. Teasing him. That definitely looks like Dan Spiegel to me. Oh, wait, I'm wrong. Drawn by Fran Matera. Huh. It kind of has a little bit of a Alex Toth vibe to it. Or a little bit of Steve Canyon. What's his name? I always forget his name when I'm on screen. Let's see. Credits on this one by Helen L. Gillum. She might be the writer. She might be the artist. Anyway, this looks like fun stuff. Here's Frank Borth by Frank Borth. I really, I'm somewhere someone must have written up about these treasure chests, right? Somewhere on the internet, and I can find out more. Treasure chest of fun and fact. Charlie's Trapped, page 20. Kind of a rat dog or something. Rosemary Yeager? Frank Moss, illustrated by Frank Borth. Where's Henrietta? Yeah, this Fran Matera. I don't know. That art, I wonder if it's a pen name for someone like Dan Spiegel or something. Or it's very similar art anyway. Let's see. One more treasure chest that I can torture you with. This cover is really fun. The Forsyth clock yields its secret. The mystery of the clock. Illustrated by Frank Borth. Where's Henrietta? I guess that's an ongoing series. Where's Henrietta? Blame It on the Past. It looks like a nonfiction there. I think the very first comic I ever got was one they gave us for free in school, but it was about electricity. And it's such a faint memory, but I remember being so enthralled by some of the drawings in it, which included a light bulb cartoon character. Must have been, I don't know, my memory's so jumbled up from those early elementary school days, but I feel like it must have been first grade or maybe third grade. Because I feel like it was when I was living in Middletown, Connecticut. I wasn't in second grade, I was not in Middletown, Connecticut. Could have been kindergarten too, but probably first grade. Okay, so that's some treasure chest. Two more, two more to go that he gave me. He knows that I have been sucked onto the San Ho Kim train by my good friends Roger and Naman. And so he had a Charlton comic from with art by Sam Ho Kim, who he calls Soho Kim because I don't know, he loves Soho in New York or London. So San Ho Kim, I believe he mostly lived in Korea, but still managed to work from Charlton. But I have to double check on that. Maybe he lived in the U.S. at the time he worked for Charlton. But he was a well-known South Korean artist. Um, and finally, Higgy knows I am trying to collect Trag. And I think he offered me a couple of Trag comics, Trag and the Sky Gods from Gold Key. I want to say there's like 9 or 10 issues in the run. And this might be my fourth or fifth. So this one I didn't already have. I just love this Jesse Santos art. I'm not a super fan of the writer. What's his name? Glut, first name Don Glut. But this art makes all the difference for me. So I try to collect all the Gold Key Santos comics. Did Santos also work for maybe Warren at some point? I'm not sure, but love that artwork. So big thanks to HiggyPop. Love visiting him. If you're in Connecticut and you're a fan of his channel, you should look him up. Or maybe he'll curse me for saying that. I don't think so. So have a great Halloween, and thanks for watching. Talk to you all soon.
Time to open it, but here we go, baby. All right, can you see it? All right, here we go. Here we go, baby. Come on. Okay, this might be tough. This looks wrapped pretty tight. It's wrapped tight, not like me. All right. Yeah. Yeah. It's a start. It's a start. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Woo! All right.